Okay, good day everyone. I am Arlene Alegre and I'm going to present to you my proposed food innovation entitled Pandesal with Cecil Joy with the scientific name of Alternatera sicilis. Okay, so pandesal is the most popular local bread in the Philippines. It is the Spanish term for salt bread, since the name originated during the 16th century Spanish colonial era. Most bakeries all over the country, from small backyard establishments to industrial bakeries, produce and sell this bread. This staple food has become part of the typical Filipino breakfast as a substitute for rice. 4 pieces of pandesal are equivalent to 1 cup of rice. So the trend toward innovation plays a vital role in enabling bakeries to offer more value-added pandesal varieties and compete in the market. So because of this, the classic pandesal is being reinvented by the bakers so that they can offer a healthier and better tasting option. So there are new pandesal variants such as malunggay or horseradish pandesal, squash pandesal, cheese pandesal, and so much more. So this trend towards innovation lead me to further find more ways in incorporating nutritious local crops in a budget-friendly food product for the community, wherein it may be a part of the family's breakfast or snack. So with that, I thought of an indigenous vegetables which are abundant in the locality, particularly in the rice field. So I come up with this title, Pandesal with Cecil Joy with, or Alternatira sicilis, or commonly called lupo. It can grow in a variety of soil types. Also, this plant is a popular leafy vegetable and is used as a folk medicinal plant in Southeast Asia. So the sisal joyweed will be incorporated in the pandesal since it composed of macronutrients, which is vitamins and minerals. So this can be found in food that nourish your body and help keep you healthy and essentials to your health. So choosing food each day that are rich in vitamins and minerals is the best way for your body to get what it needs to be healthy. So according to the Department of Health and Human Services, a serving of pandesal has 8% of the daily recommended intake for iron. Iron is an essential mineral that your body uses to form hemoglobin, which is the oxygen-carrying molecule in healthy red blood cells. So sisal joyweed has low calorie density. This means that the amount of calories you are getting from an ounce is low. So also sisal joyweed or lupo are rich in vitamins and minerals. So it is a good source of vitamin B6, vitamin D, iron, copper, vitamin C, selenium, calcium, and potassium. Also, lupok can cure infertility, prevent cancer, great for night blindness kung malabo ang imong nga pananawan, regulates the nervous system, reduces body heat, cure piles and irritation during urination. Also, it helps for the weight loss, for the hair growth, and improve health conditions. It is according to Sylvia 2019. Okay, so this food innovation uh, gives consumer other nutritious variety of pandesal that will be new for their palate and sight. Moreover, this is one way of maximizing the utilization of the sisal joy with. So the favorable characteristics of pandesal is its tendency to be is flexible and could be incorporated or mixed with other ingredients such as flavorings and also healthy nutrients which could result to different variations of pandesal in the market. So, the variations of pandesal include the recipe of the classic pandesal with additional ingredients. So, there are some new exciting flavors that exist in the market. If you are familiar with the pandan pandesal, chocolate, matcha, strawberry, and the coffee pandesal. But there are three most commonly example of pandesal variations. So, these are malunggay, squash, and cheese pandesal. So these three, I will give you its recipes. So first is the malunggay pandesal recipe. So the ingredients for making a malunggay pandesal is first a 1 sachet of instant yeast or 7 grams and 350 ml of lukewarm water. Also, you need 500 grams of strong white flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, 90 grams of shortening. Also, you need handful dried malunggay leaves, 1 tablespoon of oil for greasing the bowl, and 1 cup of breadcrumbs for coating. Next is the squash pandesal. So the ingredients in making the squash pandesal are the following. First is the 1 and 1/2 cups of cubed winter squash. Also, you need 1 cup of scalded milk, 2 or 0.25 ounce ng active dry yeast. Also, you need 1/2 cup of warm water with 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 45 degrees Celsius. Also, you need 6 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of white sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 1/2 cup of shortening. Next, for the cheese pandesal. So, the ingredients in making a cheese pandesal, 1/4 cup of warm water, 1 pack or 2 and 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast, 6 tablespoons of white granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons of butter, 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of warm milk, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3 and 1/2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil for kneading, and 1/2 pound Velveeta cheese or any type of quick melt cheese, and 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. So this three recipe provided has the same procedure, but they only differ only one ingredient. Okay, so this is their procedure. So first, in a small bowl, you need to dissolve yeast in warm water, then add sugar and let it stand for 10 minutes. Second, in a separate bowl, you need to mix the flour, sugar, warm water, salt, dried malunggay leaves or the cut squash and cheese, and the shortening until well combined, and the yeast mixture. Mix again if the mixture is too wet and add more flour. Okay. No, wala ka change ang akong slides. Okay, wait lang. Okay. So third, for the kneading process of dough, so the dough can be kneaded by the hand or using a mixer with a hook. So to test the dough if it is ready, you need to pinch a piece off and stretch it into a square. Then the dough is ready if it is elastic enough to be stretched into a translucent sheet of dough, and if it is, continue kneading. And after that, you need to rise the dough, but first, you need to grease a large bowl with oil. Then you need to place the dough in the bowl and cover the cling film and let the dough rise for about twice its size. Okay, next. Okay, so sorry, nagkaka-delay ang aking slides. Wait lang. Okay, next. After the dough has risen, you need to punch down the dough to release air in the center and knead again to redistribute the yeast. Okay, so after that, you need to you need to roll each piece of dough into a rectangular sheet and then roll the sheet into a log about 20 inches long and 2 inches in diameter and let the dough rest for an hour. Okay, so after that, using the dough cutter or a sharp knife, you need to cut the log into 1 inch thick pieces, then roll each piece in breadcrumbs. So after that, you need to place on a baking tray with the cut side up, about 3 inches apart, and let it rest again for an hour. And after that, you need to preheat the oven at 180 Celsius. And after that, after preheat the oven, bake the rolls for 20 minutes and until the rolls become lightly toasted. Okay, so I have here a short RRL based to my study or based to my topic. Okay, so according to the study of Moreno 2019 was on chemical and sensory properties evaluation of pandesal bread produced from wet and milkfish flour mixtures. So the research was conducted to determine the chemical composition of pandesal bread produced from wet and milkfish flour mixtures. So this study aimed to investigate the sensory level of acceptability of pandesal bread produced from wet and milkfish flour mixtures as to appearance, aroma, taste, texture, and general acceptability. Based on the findings of the study, the percentage of most acceptable treatment, which is 95% wet flour with 5% milkfish flour, where moisture content, crude protein, total fat, ash, carbohydrates, and energy were 21.3, 10.9, 5.72, 1.58, 60.5 grams per 100 grams, and 337 calories per 100 grams. So the findings of this study also show that there is a relation as to the proportional percentage of the different treatments in the sensory acceptability of the bangus pandesal. The lower the percentage of the milkfish flour added, the higher is the sensory acceptability of the finished product in terms of texture, taste, and the general acceptability as a whole. So as a recommendation, the result of adding milkfish flour into pandesal bread will be made the baseline database using the information obtained as a useful point of reference for further studies and to improve existing products and food processes as well as for the development of new ones. So also, with the study of Azanza et al. 2020 on staling control in Philippine yeast bread pandesal using hydrocolloids and emulsifiers. So the short 3 days shelf life of Philippine yeast bread pandesal was extended by controlling staling and mold growth with antimicrobials, hydrocolloids, and emulsifiers singly or in combination. So the study was able to verify the claim of local panaderos regarding the use by date of pandesal under ambient Philippine storage conditions of 2 to 3 days without the amendment of additives. So the combined use of calcium propionate and potassium sorbate was able to extend the microbiological shelf life by an additional 2 days, but staling still manifested through textural crumb firming. So the use of breadcrumbs was observed to passively mask the perception of crust staling in stored pandesal. Okay, so in the website of Inlivo, it's stated that the Alternatera sicilis or the sisal choywit, or we commonly called lupo, has low calorie density, meaning the amount of calorie you are getting from an ounce is low. So this is the example of nutritive value of sisal choywit. So which that total fat 1% per 0.8 grams. Carbohydrates 4% per 11.8 grams. The dietary fiber 8% per 2.1 grams. Sugars 11.6%. The protein 4.7%. The vitamin C 28%. Calcium is 15%. And iron is 90%. So also, sisal choywit rich in vitamins and minerals. It is a good source of vitamin B6, vitamin D, iron, copper, vitamin C, selenium, calcium, and potassium. Also, it contains a moderate amount of risky components that may include cholesterol, sodium, and sugars. Okay, so let's proceed to the process flow of my food innovation. So let's tackle about the ingredients that we need in baking pandesal with sisal choywit. So we need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We need 2 cups of bread flour. We need only 1/2 cup of white sugar. Then we have 5 tablespoons of butter. Only 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1 and 1/4 cup of fresh milk warm or evaporated milk, and 1 pouch of rapid rise yeast. This also 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and only 1 piece of raw egg, 1 tablespoon of cooking oil, and 30 grams of chopped sisal choywit. So these are the tools and utensils that we need in baking the pandesal with sisal choywit. So we need, this one is the mixing bowl. Then we need this one, the rubber scraper. This one is and this one we need the flour sifter, the dough cutter, the rolling pin. This one is the baking sheets. Liquid measuring cups, this one. The dry measuring cups. And also we need measuring spoon. Also we need spoon and the wooden spoon as well. And lastly, we need this weighing scale. And for the equipment that we will be needed baking the pandesal with sisal choywit is the electric mixer and the oven. Okay, so this is the process flow for preparation of sisal joywid. So the green variety of fresh sisal joywid will be utilized. So first, I buy the sisal joywid. Then the leaves were sorted. Then I wash and drain it. So after draining, I started to chop the portions, or I started to chop the leaves of the sisal joywid, and after that I measured it. So I measured it since in our recipe we need 30 grams of sisal joywid. So in preparation of ingredients, so this is an example of the pictures in preparing the ingredients. So in preparing the ingredients in baking the sisal joywid, so we need to measure all the ingredients given based on the recipe I tackled a while ago. So this one is the procedure in baking the sisal joywid. I mean in baking the pandesal with sisal joywid. So first, we need to combine the yeast, sugar, warm milk, and we need to stir it until the yeast and sugar will be fully dissolved. Second, in the mixing bowl, we need to combine the dry ingredients. So, example of the dry ingredients are the flour, the sugar, the salt, the baking powder, and we need to mix it well. And after that, after mixing the dry ingredients, you need to add the egg, butter, the cooking oil, and the yeast, sugar, milk mixture in the mixing bowl with the dry ingredients. So after that, we need to mix it again until the dough is formed. And we need to use our clean hands to effectively mix the ingredients. Okay, so in a flat surface, you need to knead the dough until the texture becomes fine. So for faster and easier kneading, you may use a stand mixer with dough hook. Okay, so if you don't have a stand mixer in your house, you can knead the dough using your hands. Okay, so after that, you need to mold the dough until the shape becomes round. Then put back in the mixing bowl. Cover the mixing bowl with damp cloth and let the dough rise for at least 1 hour. Then put the dough back to the flat surface and divide into 4 equal parts by using a dough slicer. And after that, you need to roll each part until it forms a cylindrical shape. And slice the cylindrical dough diagonally. So these slices will be individual pieces of the pandesal. So you need to slice the dough according to your desired size. And after that, roll the sliced dough over the breadcrumbs and place in a baking tray with wax paper or with baking paper, or we call it as a glacine paper. And then you need to leave the sliced dough with breadcrumbs in the tray for another 10 to 15 minutes to proof or to rise. And while waiting, you need to preheat the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, put the tray with the dough in the oven and bake it for 15 minutes. So always take note the time. And lastly, turn off the oven and remove the freshly baked pandesal and serve. Okay, so this is the appearance of the baking. This is the appearance of pandesal with Cecil Choy inside the oven, and this is the appearance after or the finished product of pandesal with Cecil Joy with. Okay, so based on the recipe I given or I tackled a while ago, you can produce 200 pieces of pandesal. Okay, so this time we will tackle about for the reasonable budget or the possible budget that we need in baking the pandesal with Cecil Joy with. Okay, so these are the ingredients in making or in baking the pandesal with Cecil Joy with. So for all-purpose flour, I estimated for only 20 pesos. For bread flour, 20 pesos as well. For the white sugar, 20 pesos as well. For the butter, 35 pesos. For the baking powder, 10 pesos. For the fish milk, 40 pesos. For the yeast, 10 pesos. For the salt, 5 pesos. Breadcrumbs, 15 pesos. Raw egg, 10 pesos since we only need only one. Cooking oil, 5 pesos. And the 30 grams of Cecil Joy with 10 pesos. So with a total of 200 pesos. Okay, so if you wanted to bake the pandesal with Cecil Joy, you only need 200 pesos as your capital. Then the finished product are 200 pieces. So you can market it with 2 pesos each. So 200 pieces times 2 pesos will be equal to 400 pesos. So your income will be 400 pesos. You need to minus the 200 pesos, which is your capital, and you have 200 pesos as your profit. Okay, so If you want to bake the pandesal with sesame with, you can ask me for more details. Okay, so thank you classmates for listening. I hope you learn and understand my food innovation about pandesal with sesame with or pandesal with lupot. So I hope you are motivated to bake this kind of products. So thank you everyone.